to the brand new The Indie Know Show. All about indie comics, a show that about the things you need to know about indie comics this week. So that basically the idea is that we're going to be covering what's going on this week. So here are the things you need to know so you could be in the know. Yes, it's a play on words. We'll see if it takes or not. Hopefully it does because we can talk about a lot of stuff. This is going to be streaming at noon. We're moving it because we have some news today. This will be a 1 p.m. show. It looks like all of our shows will be 1 p.m. Eastern going forward. I was going to put this one at noon, but there's a reason we're not. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Like I said, 15-minute show. I'm going to stay to it because I want better, more. I want you guys to sit and watch. Give me 15 minutes and I'll give you the world, like the 10-10 wins used to say. But that used to be 10 minutes, but then they changed it to 15. Who knows? Maybe it's 20 now. I don't get any AM radio really down here in Florida. It's weird. There are like 3 stations, and none of them are really news. They're just kind of weird. So we're going to be bringing you a lot of stuff. So let's head over. Let's see what we got going on. We'll go to our screen capture technology. We'll move this out of the way, and we'll start on our website, which you guys can see right here, as we get the spinning wheel of death. And of course, we're not going to go over everything on every link we have. We got some stuff we want to hit up. We're going to talk about it. We have it open for you. So here we go. Let's start. That was our site, indieadvocates.com. Conventions. We don't have any this week. It will be featured on this show, the conventions that are actually going on for just this week. We'll give you the extended forecast later on during the week with its own show, the Comic-Ventions Highway. And of course, we use Comic-Ventions because Comic-Con is owned. We don't have the forecast map. We don't have anyone for this week, as a matter of fact. If you guys have a con this week, let us know. We have no one to talk about this week. In a very rare circumstance. Usually there's always someone we know about. Even conventionscene.com has very few things going on. So it's kind of weird. We're kind of stuck where we are right now. And you guys can see I'm dealing with the spinning wheel of death right there. One of the things that we did want to talk about that we'll be doing with this show is advocating for people. And we want you guys to make sure that you can be one of us. What does it take to be an indie advocate? Not a lot. It just takes you talking about the things that you love, and that hopefully that is comic books. So if you're an indie advocate, all that means is that you actually support indie creators. And now that the spinning wheel of death is over, we can go back to our live screen and hopefully not get another spinning wheel of death. And remember, Arnold's woes are serious. In America, if you get sick, you lose a lot, and they're unable to pay their mortgage right now. So help out a fellow creator's husband by giving them whatever you can at GoFundMe or supporting and sharing that. We're not going to give you all the Kickstarters. We're only going to give you the Kickstarters ending this week because this is Indie Know. Check out the crowdfunding report on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. for the entire rundown. Okay, so ending this month, January 30th, will end Hell's Gate limited edition numbered art print by our good friend Gary Scott Beatty. And my project, Barbara Unleashed limited editions, the adult tale you grew up to read, ends as well this Friday at midnight. Oswald's Chronicles ends on the 1st, and he's got some alternative covers. This is a lot of the last of the 100s that are kind of coming and going. And then that's it. That's all that's ending at the end of this week. So you're going to have to, I'll give you a quick spin of all the other stuff. And we'll talk about some things we're adding, as a matter of fact. Got a lot of great Kickstarters. It's only amping up. We got more to share, so let's move on. And here we are. Oop, that was going to be the Help Wanted post. So if you guys need a colorist, if you need someone to join you, there is a place on our site. We're going to be sharing it today on social media, and you guys will be able to see it in just a minute. I'm trying to get rid of something so I don't scroll and show you. There we go. All right, so Essence House is now on, because that was just, I don't think there, oh, Brian K. Morris, that's what we were here for. I totally forgot. I almost blanked. Brian K. Morris has officially announced some scheduling changes, and that's why this will affect this show. This show is always meant to go at noon. That was because I have to pick up Jax and take him to speech or occupational because he has an early day. If there is a change, I'll let you guys know. But for now, Brian K. Morris's shows are moving from the original 9:30 to 10 a.m. Mondays and Thursdays. That will be Nevermind the Furthermore. He will be live on air. And Brian K. Morris, there he is, eating some hot dogs with Andy Shaggy Corte. And his Never Mind the Furthermore show will go live at 8 p.m. So it's a half an hour shift for all the shows that you love. So for those of you who are showing up late normally, you'll be on time finally. How cool is that? We're going to move on to Essence House. Essence House is brought to us by Chuck Pino and Eric Cockrell and some other great people. Their second episode just hit. Third one's on the way soon. Get caught up with Essence House today. And you can find this on social media by just typing in Essence House. At the end of the video, I will add links to all of this so everyone can see where to keep up, okay? So don't worry. If you see it, we'll try to link it for you and get it in the video description, and we'll put it in when we do the video from YouTube. We'll put it in. Actually, that's what we'll do. To not put it all on Facebook, we'll put it all on our site, and I'll give you one link, and you can go to that one link and just sort through it. So everything featured today on the show will be in the Indie Know program that we put it up on our site. All right, Travis Gibb. He has got a Kickstarter starting actually tomorrow. It is Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies, issue 3. And I hear things. You guys know this. I hear that by later today, you can actually get your pledge in for this. I'm just saying, that's the whispers, that's the rumors flying around that this Kickstarter might start today, later today. So keep an eye on Kickstarter and keep an eye on Travis Gibb. Some good stuff coming from him. And talking about good stuff coming, here comes Sam Johnson. Geek Girls Kickstarter is coming. It's Tights and Capes. Geek Girl Tights and Capes is coming. So pretty excited. We'll have Sam Johnson on the show tomorrow as ICR moves to Tuesdays at 1 p.m. So we might start the show just a little later. For those listening right now, we have a 1 p.m. slated start, and that's to accommodate Sam so we can get him on the show to give some preamble to what's coming up. We might start at 1 and have him join, but Sam will be on around 1:15. The interview will start then. All right, so we're going to move on. Just how was your week? Mine is ending filling out forms for panels and hanging with Jax. We're trying to get you guys to talk more about your weeks with each other, to kind of, just have fun and interact with each other some more. So we'll be doing more things like this year, trying to get you guys to talk to each other and meet each other, kind of like social threads. We do the debates still, but this is more of just a meet and greet, so you guys can get to know each other and just talk about your lives, and not always something creatively. Get to just sit down and talk with other creators and kind of vent a little bit if you need to, or express some good stuff that happens within the community. So on Fridays, we're definitely going to be asking, how was your week? And on Sundays, we'll be asking about how your weekend is and what you're looking forward to next week. So we're trying to do stuff like that. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is now back on Kickstarter for a second issue with John Crawford, the wrestling historian. That will be added to the site today. I'm actually not going to close that link. I've been closing them all, but I need to keep that one open. Speaking of keeping it open, I got to keep it open for Steam Dogs. Another steampunk epic is coming. This is given to me by my new friend, Brian Brinley. I hope I'm saying that right, Brian. And you'll learn as you're on the show more that I butchered last name. So please, if I'm saying it wrong, do say something and show me the phonetic way to say it. Here's Chuck Raw Review 42, the Following the Casework. Just 42 episodes, man. That takes something. Congratulations to Chuck to even being able to get up to 42. I know he's a super busy guy with all the stuff he's doing, so nothing but love to Chuck for all he does for indie comics. That's why I call him lovingly the Indie Darling. It's not a dig, it's actually a compliment. I made an email list. Check it out. I actually grew up and I actually have my own email list. If you want to sign up for the email list, I have it on my site, theindiedevil.com. You can also find it on Facebook. I'll leave a link. Like I said, we'll try to do everything with the links today, so I'll put the link in there, except I'm shameless and I'll promote myself. Shannon Smith gives us the Crimson Scorpion. So we're going to be talking about the Crimson Scorpion today and putting it on our site. So stay tuned for more about that this Wednesday on the crowdfunding report. And we'll give you a list of all the things that you'll see on the crowdfunding report on the ICR tomorrow. Let's see. There's the Crimson. So we're gonna move on. Okay. So here's something from a little different. Josh Gilliam is trying to help out a friend who's trying to gain custody It's not easy. As someone who's gone through divorce, and I'm not going to say that it was a extremely legal, long battle or anything like that, or it was ugly, but sometimes you have parents who just can't afford to advocate for being their best choice for the children. So I saw this and I wanted to share it. It's up to you. It's not an encouragement in any way to. I personally think, this is just me, and having dealt with a divorce, that men are looked down on in the court of law still to this date. And I think sometimes men need a little more help, and it's not cheap. So if you read the story and you feel up to it, please donate to them, or just share it. Men do get looked down on in court. I remember this one time. I'll share a quick anecdote with you guys. I won't say who it was for, but I was doing a favor for someone, and I was going to just get them a form. And I was in New York, so I was in Nassau County, and I had to get a form just for them with they had already been divorced. This was just a child support form that I believe, no, I had to give in a form. I had been sent the form. They wanted to make sure that it was officially notarized and had been received, because you can't mess around with courts. And I can tell you, I was treated so badly until they realized I was just delivering a note. And the minute I said I was just delivering a note, they were like, oh, well, that's nice of you to do a favor. Until that moment, I was talked very downly to. Like, I was looked at like I was a human POS. So it's a real thing that men do not get a lot of credit in our society for being good parents. So that's it. I'm done. I say no more. For those who want to be made aware, this profile is currently being used by Marcel Dupree. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But if you guys see this person running around, understand, many people, I've talked to other people who've talked to Marcel in the past, we all know it to be true. This is Marcel Dupree hiding who he is. So heads up to everyone. Keep an eye out for this person. Do not work with this person. We'll explain more about that in the future. He is catfishing at this point. All right. Great-A-Con. We're getting some feedback on PowCon today. We're getting some feedback on, hopefully, Evil Con. We got some Steampunk Industrial Show going on. Victoria Comic-Con. Hopefully, we'll get some insights, too. And Wizard World Portland, we heard the attendance was low. All the numbers were down from last year. So that's sad to hear. Wizard World's still struggling. We did hear some positive about PowCon. Really enjoyed the atmosphere. Great food. Table not too bad if you're splitting 150, but there could have been a little more foot traffic. And I asked her what the weather was like, because I heard there was some bad weather up there. Dennis Knight says, let's see, great show, well organized. Staff was friendly and helpful. Good vibes all around. So it sounded like it was a good show. A little bit of a low attendance. So I'm trying to find out. Saturday was a little rough because of the weather. See, there it is. So we're just getting this now. I haven't even read this yet, but Sunday was better attendance. A lot of pre-sold tickets prior to the event. And again, you cannot rake a con over the coals for bad weather. It's just not. It's a bad situation. It sucks for everyone. But end of day, it is what it is. And there's not much more you can do with it. We're at the 15-minute mark, so we're gonna push a little quicker, just because I said I want to keep this show to 15 minutes. So Raheel Mohsin, a great creator and a great artist, is doing fantastic rants of a millennial pip. So we're gonna leave that up. Here's a message from Michael Watson we wanted to get onto the show today.
Any news we tell about the people? So I'm putting myself to the test, Rob. I'm going to try to draw 4 issues of Hot Shot and get it all done before I release one issue. I want to release those issues all at the same time. That's going to be my goal. And I personally put out a challenge to everybody on Facebook. If they don't see updates from me in regards to these books, if they don't see updates on their creatives in regards to these books, they need to call me on that shit. I need to say where you at, how much you got done, how that clip studio working for you. Can we see some thumbnails? Can we see some in work? Can you break down one of the pages you're working on in your next episode of Dear Creative Mike? I'll be at GalaxyCon Richmond, Wizard World Cleveland, Gem City, Ohio Toy and Comic Con July 11th, and working on some more shows. Want to get out to the West Coast. So if you know anybody that's making a comic book convention on the West Coast, I'm trying to get out to Cali, I'm trying to get out to Vegas. Anybody that needs the enthusiasm of Mike Watson, that needs the most epic person in comics, that needs the hype line, that needs that FSK short fuse treatment, that needs these super diverse and awesome characters on their coast, I'm your guy. Drop my name, share a link, send them the YouTube page, send them my Facebook profile, tag me in a post, whatever it is. I'm your guy. I'm trying to get out of these shows, man. I'm trying to get out to new markets. That's what's always great about hitting a completely new show. I'm amazed at the shows that I go to that I've been to several times where that number one issue still sells. Like that number one issue still cracks. This year in 2019, well, not this year, last year, 2019, Hot Shot has dethroned Vigilance. It was the number one selling comic book.
All right, guys, so let's move on. Definitely check out Mike Watson when he does with Short Fuse and Hot Shot, and keep him, like, we're going to help him, hold him accountable. It does a great show called Dear Creative, and check that out, and we'll show the link for that as well. Of course, Indie Vault will give you some great, the most educated panels are on Tuesday nights with Indie Vault, and on Thursday you guys can get some coffee with them, which is going to be pretty cool because on Thursdays they're just about done at 10:30, so you can go from their show to Brian K. Morris's show. So I think it's really a really great show that they do. And sorry, I got a text, and whenever I get a text I look down to make sure it's not something about Jax, so it's just apparent in me. But Indie Vault does some great stuff. I've been on it a few times. They've got a great radio program. How I know? You know what it is? I like the page, and then I unlike the page so I can share it sometimes, and it winds up unliking it. But definitely Indie Vault's something you want to do. And we're going to end the show with the ballad of Marcel Dupree, Volume 2. The truth shall set creators free from the indie con man. At this point, he has actually bragged about exploiting other people's IPs who now want to distance themselves from him. He is not a good person. I wanted to say one thing on this topic. There's more news coming. You guys got to stay tuned. Here's what I'll say about it. There's been discussion in the background about a lot of people who are working with him who are afraid of him taking their IPs. Now, I can't speak from a case-to-case situation. However, for anyone listening to me, understand this. If the publisher does not have a contract and has left gray area, there is a probability that as a creator, especially considering his track record, that you could win back the IP with actually very little effort. It doesn't take a lot to prove someone is a shyster, especially when you have the resources on indieadvocates.com, and some of the things that we're hearing are just horrible. Once again, this is where he's hiding. And I'm going to quickly do this because we're going to be a 20-minute show, and we spent a couple minutes promoting the beginning of the show and explaining what it was, so I'm okay with that. But, I mean, see, like, it's just amazing. There's this long thing, and here comes Marcel. Oh, the fact that he's not on Facebook makes him guilty? Wow, that sounds logic. He is on other social media platforms. Evolution Published still has an active Facebook. And there you see it. Wait, that's what you took from this? And he lays out so much information about things going wrong with the things Marcel Dupree does. I've had people asking me, like, terrified of what it means that they have it. Here's Mine to Avenge creator Robert Jeffrey walking away. Just done. Doesn't badmouth, doesn't say anything really horrible. We're not going to drag him into it. Just officially announces he's going to leave. Later on, Marcel is actually heard talking about exploiting this. So it's heartbreaking stuff that we're seeing. There's still more to come. We're not even done. At the beginning of this, I would have been happy if he just apologized. Now I don't think I'll be happy if he apologized. Well, I wanted him, here was the thing. I wanted Marcel to stop his unethical practices, pay the creators that he owes, because he's not paying people. deliver on all his Kickstarters or give refunds and give a public apology. And I'm adding to that in the future. I want him also to give back every IP to the creator. If he did fill out a semi contract, so he's not very professional, I want him to avoid it. I want every creator to get back what's theirs, and then let them be in control of what happens with the IP futures. It's enough. Evolutionine cannot survive 2020. Marcel Dupree has got to grow up and start taking responsibility and become a better creator, and we're going to encourage him to do that all year. And that's it. That's our show. I'm not going to go any further. There's a lot of stuff to dive into. Of course, if you guys have something you want to talk about, always reach out to us. And remember that on my personal profile, and I'll show it to you right here, I'm daily I'm giving you guys stuff. So here's the help wanted we were talking about. There it is. If you're looking for help, find it. Here it is, the Indie Know. And look, we got some stuff already. Really quick before we go, not only do we have this, but we have something, The Invasion Begins 3, available now on Cutthroat Comics at Stingray. Get your stuff on social media. Let people know about it. Put anything in here. Every Monday this will be here. The Indie Know show starts. And before we end the show, we're going to come here. And we're going to check out what's in there. I will be posting this because it was a new week and this is a new show. This is a huge deal that we want you guys to know is there. We knew you didn't know it was there until now. So every Monday, hopefully around when I get up to take Jax to school around 7:30, 8 a.m., I will have this up for you guys so you can start putting it in. And by the time we go to the show, you'll be listed, or we can come here and see it. And I've got a lot of work to do. You guys got a lot of stuff to do this week, so we're going to break out now at 23 minutes, a little longer than we wanted. We'll get the structure down. We had a lot to talk about and a lot to show. And hopefully that continues. You know, realistically, this is probably going to be between a 15 and 30 minute, show, because there are things to talk about. At the end, I'll always have something like a Marcel thing where we dive a little deeper. Some things will be very much just, hey, come check this out. And that's it. This has been the Indie Know Show. So now you're in the know.